Hello, this is Shannon with the Scrappiness creative crew. Today I'm going to create this card using some products that were marketed as Halloween products. I create the card with the belly band, and it has these are from a die set called Witch's Brew. The legs and the little elf shoes here, or witch's shoes. And it is a gatefold card that opens up, and inside has a sentiment that says, on this card it says, Christmas calories don't count. I will show you the products that I used to create this card. The witch's legs come from the die set called Witch's Brew, and with the Witch's Brew die set comes a cauldron, the backer piece, and a shaker frame, so you can make a shaker card, or you could just create a layer. It also has the bubble layer and a bubble backer piece, so you can layer up the bubbling cauldron. And it has both of the witch's boots and also buckles that go on the witch's boots. There are a choice of 4 different types of legs. There's the plain legs, which you could stamp or color any way you like. You have the polka dotted legs or the star legs, and what you do with those is you would cut one of the plain legs and one of the star legs and layer them on top so you can have another color coming through. Also, there is a striped leg, and the stripes don't cut the stripes out. They mark score marks in the leg. And what I did with them was I cut 2 of the scored legs, or the scored striped legs, and I just cut every other piece out and did a little bit of ink blending around the edges of each of the stripes to make them a little more interesting. So that's that die set that I used for the elf's legs. The sentiment I used is "What the Elf," that goes on the front of the card from the Funny Christmas Wishes. Also, the sentiment on the front of the card, I used the never-ending circles, the stitched fancy scallop circles. The sentiment on the inside of the card is from the Simple Sentiments Holiday Edition. There are lots and lots of holiday sentiments, really snarky ones, very funny sentiments set. The paper that I used some green 100-pound cardstock, also some paper from the Merry Grinchmas 6x6 double-sided premium cardstock. So I used 2 different papers from the Merry Grinchmas paper. So let's get to creating the card. We are going to set all of those items aside, with a 5.5 by 11-inch piece of green, and I'm using 100-pound cardstock. I think anything that's 80 pounds or heavier is ideal for a card base. And we are going to score at, I think it's 1 1/4 and 3 3/8. Where are my notes? Yes, 1 1/4. So I take my Scrappiness bone folder here and score that 1 1/4, and then 3 3/8. Score that. I'm going to turn my cardstock 180 degrees and do the same. 1 1/4. Whoops. A little off track there. And 3 3/8. And that's how we'll create our gatefold card. So I'm going to fold the first score back onto itself and get a nice crease on that paper. Flip it over and fold the next score onto itself. And repeat that on the opposite side. Flip it back over, and that first score mark, fold it towards the center of the card. Flip it back over. I'm going to open that one up so I have room. Make sure that's even on the edge. Flatten that edge out. Nice crisp score. And what we're going to do is, I have some pattern paper that we're going to layer up onto each of the panels. So I'm going to speed this up while I adhere these pieces. Oops. I forgot to tell you the measurements of these. The larger panel is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. The smaller panels are 1 inch by 5 1/4. Now I'm going to speed it up while I adhere them. Next, we're going to take the boots and attach them to the legs. And I want my elf to be pigeon-toed, so I'm going to turn them in like this. I just need a little bit of glue at the bottom here. And I'm going to bring the panel. One thing I forgot to do is I want to make sure the heels, because I'm going to have the heels hanging off the edge of the sides of the paper, so I'm going to bring in a green marker and color those heels up so the area that extends beyond the paper or beyond the edge of the cardstock is a solid color and you can't see the bleed through from the alcohol markers as much, I should say, because you'll still be able to see it. There we go. Now, bring my tweezers, my reverse tweezers, and adhere the legs to the panel, one on each side of the narrow fold. And I'm not putting any glue on this side here because that's going to overhang. So I'm going to make the toe of the boot come up to the edge, and the heel is going to hang off over this edge of the paper. Hold that down for a second. Oh, a little bit. There we go. And the other. Do the other one just like I did the first. There we go. Next, we're going to make the belly band, and to do that, I'm going to use a piece of green cardstock that is 1 inch by 10 inches. I'm going to center that over my folded card, and then I'm going to wrap the ends around the back, but I don't want to wrap them tight. I want there to be enough room so that this will slide on and off very easily. So if you wanted to, you could actually score this, just scoring it approximately 1/8 of an inch, allowing for 1/8 of an inch greater than the width of your cardstock, which the width here of my card is 4 1/4, because this is an A2 card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to straighten these out, and then I can give my edges a press. Bring in my glue. And seal that together. Make sure it slides on and off. Yeah, slides very easy. Now I'm going to scooch this belly band up towards the top of the card. And I'm going to bring in my Stitch Fancy scallop circle, and let's see, I need to measure how much glue I need to add, or putting the glue directly onto the belly band, and then centering that scallop circle onto the belly band. Give it a press. And then our sentiment circle. Center that onto the stitch scallop circle, making sure it's straight, your sentiment is straight. And I try to make sure I can see the stitch marks from the scallop sentiment, or the scallop circle. There we go, give it a press. Now I can take that belly band off. I'm going to take my sentiment from the, what is this from? This is from the Simple Sentiments Simple Sentiments Holiday Edition. Add some adhesive. Center that towards the top. Give it a press. Make sure it's straight. Looks good. And there's our card. Thanks so much for watching. I'd appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more from the creative crew at Katscrappiness. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.